Hey gang, Jane back with another fun granny square tutorial for you. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Flora hexagon. This is a crochet granny square with 6 sides. It resembles a flower with a circular center, which is framed with 6 petals and finishes off with a border to create 6 straight edges. I'll be making this piece in worsted weight yarn today, but these squares will work with other weights as well. They do work best in either a DK weight or a worsted weight. I'll be using a 5.5mm hook today. I usually suggest you use the hook size that works best for you with the yarn you are using. The labels often suggest a 5mm with worsted. However, when I make squares for blankets or garments where I want a little more softness and a little bit of airy space to them, I will go up half a size of hook. Experiment and use the hook that best works for you. This piece has 9 rounds and can be worked in as many or as few colors as you'd like. I'll be using 3 colors today, a green, a beige, and a white. Additional tools I'll be using will be a pair of scissors and a darning needle. So choose your colors, gather your supplies, and join me in making the Flora hexagon. So we start our foundation with the green, and I'm going to do a magic ring. So we're going to wrap our yarn around our first 2 fingers, over our third, put our hook underneath the first and over the second, pull through our loop and twist it on the hook. Reach over and grab that working yarn and chain 1 to lock it in place. Now I have a tutorial on this that moves much slower than that. If this is your first time doing a magic ring, make sure you check that out. I'll link to that in the description below. You could also do a chain 3 with a slip stitch join as your foundation if you do not like magic rings. I use both. So today we're doing a magic ring. So I'm going to go ahead and start my round 1 with the same color. Round 1 wants 6 single crochets into this ring right here, or into your chain 3 ring if that's what you're doing. So we go ahead and do 6 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That magic ring can be a little finicky, little floppy. So there we have it, 6 single crochet into our ring. And if you're doing the magic ring like I am, you need to cinch this up now. So put your thumb and your finger on that last stitch, grab the cut end and give it a little pull, and it pulls your ring right together. So we have a very tight round 1 because we're only doing the single crochet. So often I do an invisible join at the end of my round, but there is so little to work with here. I'm just going to do a slip stitch. So in order to do the slip stitch when I'm changing a color, I actually want to change my color in that last stitch. So I'm going to take my hook out and I'm going to put it back into this loop and the loop below it and pull that back out. So I want to change my color, and you could just take that last stitch out and redo it, but because I've cinched up my ring, I would rather not. So I'm going to grab my next color and I'm going to join it in that last half of that stitch. So loop over, leaving about a 4-inch end to darn in, pull a loop through and complete that last stitch. So now we've changed our color and we're going to do a slip stitch in the first single crochet. So we go in and we pull up a loop and pull it through the loop on the hook. Now the reason for this is I find slip stitches leave a little bit of a jog anyways, but if you don't change your color in the last part of the stitch, you get that green moving into where the beige is supposed to be. So I find this is the smoothest way to do it, that your colors don't show. So round 2, we've changed our color and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This counts as our first double crochet and chain 1. So double crochet would be the first 3 chain and the chain 1 at the end. So now we're going to double crochet in the same stitch that we just joined in. So wrap the yarn around, go back down to that same stitch and complete a double crochet. So now what we actually have is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in that first stitch. So what we want to do is chain 1 and do the same thing in the next stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So let's go ahead and do that. Double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet all into that next stitch. Then we go ahead and chain another one and do the same thing into the next stitch. So we're going to do that all the way around. You only have 6 stitches to work with. So meet me at the end of this round when you've worked these double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then an extra chain 1 into all 6 stitches. I'll meet you there. So here we are at the end of round 2, and I've done a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into each of the stitches. So there were 6 stitches. I should have 6 batches of those. So really what you have is 12 double crochets and 12 chain 1s. So what we want to do is slip stitch a join to end the round. So we ended with a chain 1, and now we want to go into the 3rd chain of our beginning chain 3, because that will be the top of our double crochet. So go ahead and there we go. That was kind of tight. So there we are. We have finished that. So we didn't actually cut off of our green either. I had my green hanging through here. So the green can get cut and the beige can get cut. And that's the end of round 2. So now we want to move on to round 3, and we're going to use white. So now we're ready for round 3. We want to take our color C, which is white for me, and we're going to join it in any of these chain 1 spaces all the way around. Doesn't matter where you join, just join in a chain 1 space, pull up your loop, leaving an end to darn in later, and then chain 1. And then you want to single crochet in that same stitch. Now you're going to chain 2, and you're going to want to skip this next double crochet and single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Then you're going to chain 2, skip next double crochet and single crochet into the next chain 1 space. And you're going to do that all the way around. I'll meet you back here at the end of the round. So here we are at the end of the round. We finished with a chain 2, and now we want to slip stitch in the first single crochet of the round. And that completes round 3. And now you can cut your yarn at the back. We're ready for round 4. So round number 4 is our next round, and we're back to green. So we want to join our green with a slip stitch in any one of these chain 2 spaces. So I'll just pick one here and go in, pull up our yarn, and we're going to go ahead and chain 1. So now we want to work 2 single crochet into that same space that we just joined in. So go ahead and work 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet. Then we want to chain 1, and we're going to skip. This white keeps getting in my way. Now we're going to skip the next single crochet and work into the next chain 1 space, and we're going to do 2 single crochets into that chain 2 space. Then we're going to chain 1, skip the next single crochet, and continue on. 2 single crochets into the chain 2 spaces, and then a chain 1 in between, skipping over the single crochet. So go ahead and finish that. I'll meet you back here at the end of the round. So here we are at the end of round 4. We've done our chain 1, and now we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round, pull the yarn through, cut our yarn at the back, and pull it all the way through. So we've done our first 4 rounds, and we're back to using our beige for round number 5. This is color B. So we're going to join with a slip stitch in any one of these chain 1 spaces. This is what I love about this, is you can rotate your work around, join it wherever you want to. So we join with a slip stitch, then we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the same chain 1 space that we just joined into. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to skip the next 2 single crochet, and we're going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space. So over here, we work a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Skip the next 2 single crochets and work into the next chain 1 space. And we are going to do that all the way around, skipping over the 2 single crochets, chain 3, and single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Work that all the way around, and I'll meet you back here at the end of round 5. So here we are at the end of round number 5. I've ended with a chain 3, and I'm ready now to join my round in this first single crochet. Slip your hook in, pull the yarn through and through the loop on the hook, and that joins your round. Go ahead and cut your yarn at the back and pull it through. So this is the center part of this square. Now you can see from the finished one, we've done this whole center part. Now we're going to start working on these petals and the edging around the petals. So the next row is this white. So let's pull up our white and get going on round number 6 to create our petals. So now we have our white and we're going ahead with round number 6. We join color C with a slip stitch in any chain 3 space. So just go ahead and pick one. Put your hook through the chain 3 space and pull up a loop. Then we want to go ahead and chain 1, and we want a single crochet in that same chain 3 space we just joined in. Then we're going to chain 1. Skip the next single crochet stitch, and in this chain 3 space we're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. That's going to be one of our petals. So let's go ahead with that and do 3 double crochet, 2, and that's 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. This is also where we're creating the sides of our hexagon, because this is a 6-sided shape. There's our petal as well as one of our 6 corners. And then we're going to go chain 1, skip next single crochet, and single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do that again. We're going to skip the next single crochet and make another one of these corners into the next chain 3 space. So we're going to do 3 double crochet. It's a lot into one of these chain 3 spaces. So then we chain 2 and do 3 more double crochet. Then we chain 1, skip over that single crochet, and working into this chain 3 space, we single crochet. So there we have 2 of our hexagon corners, also 2 of our petals. So we're going to do that the rest of the way around. You're going to work one of these petal sections and then the single crochet the rest of the way around in each of the chain 3 spaces, and I will meet you back here. You will have 6 of these petals and 6 individual single crochets by the time you get to this end of the round. I'll see you there. So now we've done our 6 petals or 6 corners for this 6-sided shape, and I've ended with one of the corners and a chain 1. And now what I want to do is slip stitch in the first single crochet of the round to end it. There we go. Now we cut our yarn and we have a nice little flower shape going on here with the white petals. So the next round we're going to use our green and we're going to fill in these shapes and make it into a straight-sided 6-sided shape. Okay, so grab your green, which is color A, and let's get going on round 7. So round 7 says to slip stitch in any of the chain 2 space corners. So that's these little corners here by the petals. So you want to insert your hook and pull up your yarn, and then you want to go ahead and chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet in that same chain 2 space. So now we want to single crochet in the next stitch. So right here, this double crochet stitch here, you're going to single crochet into that one. Then you're going to half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So these 2 stitches here are going to get half double crochet in each of them. So now we're 4 stitches in. So now we're going to do a double crochet decrease over these 2 chain 1 spaces. So we're not working into stitches here, we're working into chain 1 spaces for this decrease. And a double crochet decrease is working double crochet stitch that 2 double crochet stitches into 1. So what we're going to do here is wrap the yarn around, insert it into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, wrap it over and pull through 2 loops, but leave the last 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and go into the next chain 1 space, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, leaving 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And that creates your double crochet decrease in the 2 chain 1 spaces. So you've actually skipped this single crochet in the middle. So now what we want to do is half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So in each of them, a half double crochet. So you're creating 2 half double crochets. Then you're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And then in this chain 2 space, you're going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet at the top of the point here. So now we've worked up one edge and we've straightened it out. So you can see here, we started with small stitches, went into longer stitches, and then back into small stitches, and that straightened out these petal edges. So you still have the petals, but you filled in the gap in between. So let's do another one of those, and then I'm going to leave you to repeat it all the way around. So the next edge is going to be single crochet in your next stitch, half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, then you're going to do a double crochet decrease, skipping over this center single crochet. So you do a double crochet into the first chain 1, but you leave 2 loops on the hook, do a double crochet into the next chain 1, again finishing with the 3 loops, and then you yarn over and pull through all 3. There's your decrease. Then you go ahead and do a half double crochet and another half double crochet per stitch. Then you do a single crochet, and then you finish off in this chain 2 by doing a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet. That is how your edge goes from one point to the next. So complete this by doing exactly what we just did right here. Do it along this edge, and this edge, and meet me right before you're ready to join at the final part of the round. I'll meet you back there to finish off the round. Okay, we're at the end of round 7. I've finished this last straight stretch, ending with a single crochet in this last stitch. We're back to the corner where we started. So the way to end it is single crochet in that same chain 2 space that you joined in, chain 1, and then slip stitch in the first single crochet. And that completes your round. Cut your yarn. And now we have a flower that has nice straight edges. So it kind of frames the flower. So that is the main part of the square. And I have 2 more rounds to create a border. So we'll go ahead with those 2 rounds next. So in round 8, I'm using my beige again. And I'm going to join color B, which is beige, with a slip stitch in the first single crochet of the previous round. So because now we have defined our edges, I want to join it in the first single crochet right where we ended. So we're going to go into that first single crochet of the previous round, and we're going to pull up a loop. And then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and this counts as our first half double crochet. So now we want to do a half double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches, which is going to take us to the other corner. So 8 half double crochets. So let's see here. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. When I try to go fast, I split my yarn. So now that we've done the 8 half double crochets, we want to go into this chain 1 space to create our corner. So we want to do a half double crochet into this chain 1 space, chain 2, and half double crochet. And that creates our corner point. It's already there, it just emphasizes it. And it turns our work to go along the next edge. So now we want to do 9 half double crochet across our edge. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're on our next corner. So the next corner, you're going to want to do half double crochet into this chain 1 space. It's hard to find. Chain 1s are trickier to find because there's not much there. But I don't want to, the reason it's a chain 1 is because a chain 2 would create too much bulk there. So you kind of have to go in and make sure that you're going into the chain 1 space, not the first stitch. This is where this can get a little confusing. So let me zoom in here. So you want to go into right here, this space, not the single crochet stitch, but the chain space. So I'm going to show you, you go in there and do a half double crochet, chain 2, and then another half double crochet. And now the chain stitches worked, but the single crochet is still available. What happens sometimes, because I use this in a few patterns, I've had people say that they're short a stitch. It's because this stitch gets missed sometimes. So see how that's a single crochet that was worked into, and this single crochet needs to be worked into, but in between them is this chain space. It's very small, but it's there. So don't confuse the first single crochet with the chain space. They are 2 different places to work into. So as you work across here, you'll have 9 stitches because you've got to remember to work into this first single crochet, which is so incredibly close to the chain space. So go ahead now and do the 9 half double crochets. Work your half double crochet chain 2, half double crochet into the chain 1 space at the corner, and continue around, and I'll meet you back here at the end of the round. So here we are at the end of the round, and I've finished my 9 half double crochet, and I've come up to the last part where we started. So this is a chain 1 before we hit our beginning of our round again. So we need to do the half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet into that chain 1, and we've already worked into the first, so now I just need to join. So I just need to put my hook into the chain 2, the beginning chain 2, which would be the top of the half double crochet, and slip stitch join that stitch, and we have finished round 8. So you can see now our border is starting to take shape, and I'm going to do one more round, and it's going to be in the white. So round 9 says to take color C, which is our white, and slip stitch in any chain 2 space of the previous round. So any of these corners. So pull up a loop, chain 1, and single crochet in the same space you joined in. Now we go chain 1, So you want to skip your first half double crochet, which is right here. And it actually looks like it goes into that chain 2 space, but that's it right there. And you want to single crochet into the next one. And then you want to chain 1, skip your next half double crochet, so this stitch right here, and work into the next one. Again, let's pull this in and you can see what I'm doing. So you are single crochet, chain 1, and then you're going to skip this stitch and work into this stitch. So just make sure you're always skipping a stitch, chain 1, skip this one, work into this one. And you're doing this all the way across the top. Okay, and you want to skip this one. And now you don't have another one to work into, so we're at the corner. And you want to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet again into this chain 2 space. So we've done a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet into this chain 2 space. Then you want to chain 1, and then you want to miss the next. Now this is going to be confusing because this is where I joined. You want to miss this half double crochet here, and you want to go into the next one, which is actually the chain 2 where we started the previous round. That makes sense? You're missing this half double crochet and you're working into this one. And you do a single crochet, then you chain 1. So now you want to miss the next half double crochet, which is actually this stitch right here. And then you want to work into this one. So a single crochet into the next half double crochet, chain 1, and then it gets a little more obvious from there. You're missing this one, going into the next one. So we're going to work that all the way around, making sure that we do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in each of the corners, and I'll meet you back at the end of this round. And now we're back at the end of our round, and we need to finish off by working into the same chain 2 space that we joined in, single crochet, chain 2, and then slip stitch in the first single crochet of our round and fasten off. So cutting our yarn, pull it through, and there you are. You have your finished Flora hexagon, a beautiful little flower with 6 sides to frame it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun making the Flora hexagon. I have more ideas on how to use these granny squares over on my website, and you can find the link in the description below. Remember, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified of all new tutorials as they come out. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.